Good morning, trustees, staff, faculty, junior ushers in Ivy, alumni of all stripes and signs, and beloved seniors and all families. We are here to convene our commencement festivities to begin the beginning. Today, as we gather to recognize just some of the academic lights in a sea of brilliance, to acknowledge some of the sources that make us, Smith College, shine, let us pause and give thanks for this winding march that has led us to this moment and this glorious, timeless parade that connects us all. We give thanks for all that has surrounded us and surrounds us now. Praise the stone and the wood and the brick. Praise the archways that greet us and send us forth. Praise the housekeepers, the groundskeepers, the cooks. Praise their labor and devotion. Praise Paradise Pond and its drainings and fillings, the fowl and the rodents that keep coming back, and the resilient woods that have sometimes held our sorrows when the river has run low in an inclement autumn or bubbled up high onto the banks in spring. Praise our professors and their nurturing and knowledge. Praise the thinking. Praise the mucky soil of confusion when, nourished by our toil, yields the fruit of wisdom. Praise the staff, praise the deans, praise the program coordinators and all the village builders, the behind-the-scenes directors. Praise their day in and day out work. Praise Otelia Cromwell and her spirit moving through Nielsen Library and Chapin Lawn. Praise Gray Court Gate and all gates that once were closed that now swing open. May all gates be as such. Praise each one of you here today. Praise you seniors. You have made a precious and unique contribution to this place. Praise the botanicals and the ivy. May this moment help us to grow our roots, wild and wonderful, through this broken but beautiful world. Let us begin.
Good morning. I'm Kate Grant, the class of 1975 and the president of the Alumni Association. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here with you today. It's a beautiful morning. Thanks for that. I love Ivy Day. I love all that it represents, our shared history, our strength as a community, our enduring bonds. I remember my own Ivy Day. I remember the celebration and catching glimpses of my future self walking in between me and my fellow classmates. I was moved and I was inspired. I was, and I still am, proud to be a Smithy. I imagine all of you feel that way too. This morning, I have the privilege of welcoming the 5 great classes on campus for reunion, the classes of 2007, yes, 1997, oh, you all better watch for your turn. 1987. 1977. And of course, the class of 1967 here celebrating. They're celebrating their 50th reunion. And then there's the great class of 2017. On behalf of the entire alumni body, some 50,000 strong, I want to extend a heartfelt congratulations on all of your remarkable achievements. I hope you can feel the love and support of your Smith family as you prepare to leave this magical place and start your life as alumni. Speaking of family, let me add my welcome and thanks to the parents and friends of our outstanding graduates. You were the cheerleaders and supporters, fielding the urgent texts and phone calls, offering advice and counsel, and maybe even serving as a proofreader once in a while. This weekend, your children are graduating from Smith College, and from the view up here, I can tell you that they're proud and eager to see what comes next. Graduates, on a day like today, you might be thinking, it just doesn't get better than this. And I'll let you in on a secret. It really does. I know that more than 1,000 alumni gathered here would agree with me, right? It just gets better. It gets better because starting today, you join the ranks of all of those 50,000 Smithies spanning the globe who are ready, willing, and able to help launch you. It gets better because the sense of community you felt on the campus will extend to you, to your hometowns, where local Smith clubs will always be there to welcome you. It gets better because you will forever be a part of a network of Smithies who will hold you up, cheer you, stand by your side, and make you laugh during those moments when you need it the most. In my own life, I've been held up and held on to by Smith women. Just this year, I went through a significant health scare. I needed a new liver. My family and my Smith friends stayed by my side, helping, hoping, praying, and sending good thoughts my way. I'm convinced that that outpouring of support, along with excellent medical care, saved me. On January 17th, my doctors at the Mayo Clinic performed a successful liver transplant. Thank you. And I am grateful beyond measure. And of course, I'm going to put in a plug to urge all of you to become organ donors. I told my doctors I would do that. Someone who did not know me gave me my life, and Smithies gave me the support that sustained me. I want to add that some people that you didn't know have supported you all the way through Smith in many ways, in these beautiful buildings, in endowed professorships, in scholarships, and in the emergency funds that you might use if you just ran out of money. I just want to say we're all here behind you. And so yes, my Smith friends, it does get better than this. As you forge new paths, don't forget the power of this place and all that it gave to you. The extraordinary education, lifelong friends, the time to think about physics, history, mathematics, and art, sometimes all in the same day. I encourage you to give back. Volunteer, attend a conference, join your Smith Club, mentor a current student, give annually and consistently to the Smith Fund. It all matters, and it all makes a difference. Alumni are Smith's best ambassadors and biggest supporters. I'd like to ask the following volunteer groups in the alumni to stand as they are called and keep standing, and would everyone hold their applause till the end? You all too. To anyone who has been a member of the Smith Board of Trustees or Alumni Association Board of Directors to join in standing. And to the alumni who have served in clubs in your area, please rise. Yes. And now, those who've been active in their class, please stand. And finally, would any of you who has contributed to the Smith Fund or helped raise funds to keep Smith affordable, accessible, join the women already standing? Thank you all. I would have called for the admission volunteers, but I think everybody was already standing. So thank you, my fellow alumni. Thank you for keeping Smith in your hearts and your minds and doing what you can to lift Smith so that it remains an exceptional place for our students and our alumni. Your support, indeed the support of all alumni, ensures that Smith will always be, as Sophia Smith envisioned, a perennial blessing to the world. Alumni, we're inspired by you. The lives you lead, your accomplishments, they exemplify the benefits of a Smith education. You are true women for the world. To the class of 2017, let these alumni inspire you. Take your talents and all that you learned here about the world and about yourself and make a difference. That's our wish for you. That is this world needs you. I welcome you to the Alumni Association of Smith College. We are glad to have you with us, and we look forward to watching your journeys unfold.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kathleen McCartney, the proud president of Smith College. Thank you. Happy Ivy Day. You having fun? Yeah? Good. Well, like Kate, I also want to welcome the great class of 2017. Their parents, families, and friends, and the hundreds of alumni celebrating milestone reunions, the classes of 1967, 1977, 1987, 1997, 2007, and can I just give a shout out to the class of 1977 who adopted me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Today we honor our history and reflect on our connections as scholars and students, as classmates and community members, as family and friends. Every year, I am struck by the view on this stage. Generations of Smithies marching as one, the Ivy Day Parade, our very own Women's March, is a vivid symbol of the bonds we share as members of this worldwide community that we call Smith. And as a community, we have so much to celebrate. 17 Fulbright Awards, once again making us the #1 producer. Yes, Smith is the #1 producer of Fulbright Award winners among U.S. liberal arts colleges. More fellowships for our students, a Goldwater Scholarship winner, a Gates Cambridge Scholar, and a Truman Scholarship finalist. A record-breaking year at admissions, 5,432 applications to the class of 2021. So great. Prestigious awards for our faculty. A finalist for the Pulitzer Prize in Music. A new member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. And the first recipient of the Beveridge Geobiology Award. The culmination of our Women for the World campaign, the most successful fundraising campaign in Smith's history. An incredible design by Maya Lin for the new Nielsen, sure to be the destination library when it reopens in 2020. I can't wait to show it to the class of 2017. This success is for and about each one of you. alumni who sustain and hold this place so close in your hearts, families and friends who support our students, and seniors, the great class of 2017, who worked so hard to get to this milestone day. Each of you here today has a shared chapter, a Smith chapter, which is a part of your own unique life story. The universe is made of stories, not of atoms. So wrote poet and activist Muriel Rukeyser in her poem, The Speed of Darkness. Rukeyser is speaking about the importance of stories for humanities. Stories do more than reflect our lived experiences, because we are each the author of our stories. Our stories help shape and reshape who we are, again and again. In so doing, we construct a life. I've been telling a story for the past 28 years about my daughters and me, and I'd like to share it with you now. This story takes place when my younger daughter, Kimberly, was in kindergarten, and my older daughter, Kate, was in 4th grade. I was a working single mom at the University of New Hampshire. 2 years after the separation from their father, I feared I had failed my daughters, despite my efforts to give them what my parents had given me. I worried that they probably felt less than their friends with married parents. One night, the middle school in our town was hosting a musical event, a night at the Pops it was called, and both of my daughters wanted to attend. I was tired and didn't have time to change out of my work clothes. Caitlin remembers vividly my high heels clicking down the school hallway as we approached the ticket booth. A sign read, $1 per person or $4 per family. The woman at the booth looked at us and said, "That will be $3. Kimberly, my kindergartner, protested, "But we're a family." I blinked back tears and threw down $4, which made Kimberly happy and amused Caitlin, who understood the irony. We never felt less than any family ever again. Looking back, it's clear to me now that we were at risk of accepting the storyline of others, that we were a broken family. But at that moment, we understood that we got to write our own narrative. As Tim O'Brien so beautifully explains in his book about his service in Vietnam, The Things They Carried, stories aren't true unless they feel true. For O'Brien, what he calls happening truth is elusive, while story truth is real. What happened at the middle school that night still feels true and real to my daughters and me, no doubt because it reclaimed our identity as a family. We affirm our truth in every retelling. Psychologist Dan McAdams has theorized that identity essentially consists of narratives, what he calls a person's internalized and evolving story of the self. When McAdams interviews people for his research, he begins by asking them to think about their life as if it were a book, a novel with chapters. Then he asks for the important stories. McAdam argues that our identity can be mapped through the stories we tell about ourselves. In essence, we curate our stories. We select the ones that are important, the high points, the low points, and the turning points, and we forget the rest. And then we organize them to what McAdams calls an authentic, coherent self. We work to know what is true and real about ourselves. Regardless of your age or graduation year, Smith is a chapter in your life story. You will always remember the courses that ignited your intellectual passions, the all-nighters with classmates to prep for that midterm exam, what you did on each and every mountain day, the late-night conversations with your friends and housemates that tackled life's biggest questions. Why are we here? What's it all about? Is there a God? As we build our arguments about life's existential questions, we share the stories that illustrate our beliefs. I witnessed this sort of chaptered retelling last year at baccalaureate when I heard a graduating senior from the class of 2016 tell a turning point story. As the Smithies know, baccalaureate occurs the Thursday before commencement and takes place in the chapel. Near the end of the ceremony last year, the Dean of Religious Life invited students to share their reflections. One of the first students to speak appeared both nervous and determined as she began. It was clear she had something important to say. At 11 years old, she accompanied her mother to a college reunion at another women's college. She found herself in awe of her mother's classmates. At every activity, the alumni included her in their conversations. They asked her questions about herself. They were genuinely curious about her interests. She remembers they were carefree when they spoke, laughed, and hugged one another. Of course, they all told her she must attend a women's college. That made everyone in the chapel smile in recognition because so many of them had heard the same advice. And I think they knew they would be giving other young people this counsel going forward. The student continued by saying that she grew up wanting to be like the women she had met at her mother's reunion. And then her voice broke a little as she confided in all of us, "I looked in the mirror this morning and I realized I am one of them." This student wrote herself into a story, one I suspect many of you share, about confidence, accomplishment, and promise. She came to Smith with the goal of writing an important chapter in her life. She had envisioned that chapter since she was 11 years old. She had succeeded in making their story her story. We are the stories we live and tell. Some of us deploy McAdams' advice literally. We capture the stories of our lives in a memoir. Margaret Wordle, who is celebrating her 50th reunion this weekend, wrote a very moving memoir following the tragic loss of her son while he attempted to rescue an injured hiker on Mount Rainier. Each story in Margaret's book, called Touching the Edge, reads like a parable filled with wisdom. She begins one of the last chapters by quoting Anais Nin. "There is not one big cosmic meaning for all. There is only the meaning we each give to our life, an individual meaning, an individual plot, like an individual novel, a book for each person." Alumni, you're here today because the book of your life includes a chapter on Smith, rich with stories that have withstood the test of time. You've carried your Smith stories with you into the world and have built on them to write next chapters. You've told these stories many times. No doubt they have shaped and reshaped your sense of yourself over time. Seniors, I suspect you already tell a number of Smith stories, and I know you will continue to do so in the years ahead, just like the alumni. Many of the characters in your book are here today to celebrate with you, your family and friends, your professors, the staff in your houses, the library, the gym, career services, and more. As you write your story, remember this: you are the protagonist, you alone. You are the curator of your stories. Use your stories to make meaning in your life, to find your spiritual path, to make sense of this wondrous world. And don't be afraid to write yourself into the stories you envision. That's what Smithies do. Tell your stories again and again until the story truths emerge, and know that you will revisit these truths with every new experience. Tell your story to the world, the struggles, the triumphs, and the quiet moments in between that matter just as much. Tell your stories at alumni events, at reunions, and in class notes. Graduates, tell us because you are a part of the Smith story now. Thank you very much. I now call upon Katie Hitchcock Smith class of 2017 to deliver the expression of gratitude.
Thank you, President McCartney. Good morning. My name is Katie Hitchcock Smith, a member of the class of 2017. I am absolutely honored to share my story of how Smith College changed not only my life, but me in my entirety. The Katie who entered Smith in 2013 looks very different from the Katie you see here today. 3 days before starting Smith College, I hadn't done any of the stereotypical things that Smithy was supposed to do. I hadn't picked out my classes, Pinterested my entire room, or read the mandatory summer reading book. I did pack 6 shades of glitter for convocation, though. That happened. 3 days before starting college, I was standing in a packed courtroom, getting a restraining order against my ex-boyfriend and being cross-examined by his attorney. I came to Smith College broken. I would call my mom crying every day, go to sleep at 4 a.m. to delay the nightmares, and wake up in a cold sweat. I felt alone. I believed that people would always do wrong if they thought they could get away with it, that people at their very core were selfish, self-serving, and self-interested. Smith College proved me wrong. Early my first semester, I ended up being so stressed that I broke out in hives all over my body. A senior in my house saw me sitting miserably in Nielsen trying to study, took me back to Scales, ordered me to take 2 Benadryl, and tucked me into bed. When I woke up, she had done all of my laundry, thinking that my detergent would get rid of my hives. This woman epitomized the people I have met at Smith. When I was having nightmares, my housemates dragged my mattress into their rooms so I wouldn't wake up alone. My track coach, Carla Coffey, took me to all of my doctor's appointments. My teammates and assistant coaches stayed with me to talk long after the dining halls closed. Everyone knows how Smith professors change lives, right? When I was at my very lowest, Professor Mark Lendler's classes would give me a reason to get up in the morning. We would spend hours talking about the fundamental importance of free speech, of hearing and being heard. Unlike that courtroom, I finally felt as I was coming through loud and clear. Yes, Smith is hard, but the people here make it more than worth it. At Smith, you have access to some of the most potent figures in U.S. higher education. The president of our college is just an email away. Professor Andrew Zimbalist, currently busy with his 13th book tour, took hours out of his schedule to give me life advice. Professor Alice Hurst has called me several times over the summer to discuss campus politics and give me the benefit of her professional wisdom. Professor Randy Bartlett extends his office hours when it conflicts with track practice. Other than my family's selflessness, I had never seen this type of unwavering support. It is because of these people that I've been able to find the confidence to unapologetically achieve. I'm proud to share that I've made the Dean's List, was a semifinalist in the Draper Entrepreneurship Competition, supported by Tim and Melissa Draper, class of '77. I was the vice president of our class sophomore year and served as a campus climate liaison. As a 4-year member of the Smith College track team, I hold the school record for the 60-meter hurdles. My junior year, I co-founded the Bipartisan Coalition. We are based on the principles of free speech and open discussion between Republicans and Democrats. We've been featured in the Boston Globe, hosted political commentators, speechwriters, and senators on both sides of the aisle. Starting the Bipartisan Coalition is when I recognized that Smith had changed me. Now, to give you some context, I'm a Democrat. I was born a Democrat, raised a Democrat, and I've worked for Democrats such as Attorney General Maura Healey and liberal messiah, Senator Elizabeth Warren. I also happen to have a conservative best friend here at Smith. I didn't know that when moving into Scales House my first year, I would be meeting one of the single most important people in my life. Allison and I have literally shared a wall between our rooms for the past 4 years. Given the current political climate, a Democrat being best friends with a Republican sounds like a modern love story. It's not always easy. As you can imagine, Allison and I disagree on almost everything. Abortion, religious issues, healthcare, how to solve poverty, you name it, we disagree. But somehow, we can still fundamentally disagree on just about everything and still remain best friends. Being friends with and genuinely listening to those who you disagree with requires a certain faith in humanity. You have to believe that people do not hold malice in their hearts, are not self-serving, selfish, or self-interested. I have learned to trust that although Allison and I come from different backgrounds, families, and life experiences, our differing opinions come from a good place. I believe that both of us want to make this world better. We just have a different way of going about it. The best part is this doesn't have to end when we graduate. We are joining the ranks of all those who came before us. Smithies are everywhere. We are inescapable. When I was working for Senator Warren, her communications director was the class of '06. During that application process, the man who interviewed me shared that his sister is a Smithie. And last year at reunion, I had the opportunity to interview former Congresswoman Jane Harmon, class of '66, in front of a live audience. A couple weeks ago, I was getting my hair cut in a Boston salon, and I was talking to the hairstylist about where I was from, where I went to school, and as soon as I said Smith College, the woman sitting next to me whipped her head around, reached out her hand, gets real close, and goes, "Class of '84." We got to talking, and she told me that she lived in Baldwin House with Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin. I told her about the Bipartisan Coalition, Senator Warren, and that I would be speaking to you today. We exchanged emails, and not an hour after we met, I saw one from her in my inbox. It read, "Every Smithie that has come before you is your older sister. Every Smithie that comes after you is your younger sister. We take care of our sisters." Without even knowing it, Smith College administrators, professors, classmates, alumni, supporters, all of you sitting here today, you saved me. Alumni, I especially want to recognize your support of Smith College past, student, current, and future. If it wasn't for your generosity, I wouldn't have been able to attend Smith to have my life changed. Smith College restored my faith in humanity. I will spend my entire life paying it back. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. I'm super proud of you, by the way, for those inspiring words and for sharing your enthusiasm, your gratitude, and your Smith story. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Chrysler. I'm the Vice President of Alumni Relations and Executive Director of the Alumni Association. I am also a proud member of the Smith Class of 1992. It is a distinct honor to have all of you here for this wonderful celebration of Smith and Smith women in the world. The Ivy Day tradition began in 1884. The first year, a graduating class planted ivy to symbolize their lifelong connection to Smith. Today, Ivy Day represents the moment when our community comes together as one, and the power of Sophia Smith's vision comes to bear. Together, Smithies are a force to be reckoned with. We see this in the sheer number of you here today, and we see it in your remarkable philanthropic support for this institution. Every gift, no matter its size, is a powerful endorsement and vote of confidence in our efforts to educate women of promise for lives of distinction and purpose. Indeed, as important as the dollars raised by each class here today are the participation percentages. The more people who give to Smith, the more competitive we are among our peers and the higher our national ranking. So this morning, I have the pleasure of recognizing your Smith spirit and generosity by announcing the awards for reunion attendance and class fundraising. First, I want to share some good news. As you heard from Kathy, our Women for the World campaign was a tremendous success. Thanks to you and more than 37,000 donors, we surpassed our ambitious goal of $450 million by raising $486 million for our campaign. As Smithies, this news, of course, comes as no surprise because we are used to meeting and surpassing challenges. Women supporting women. There is nothing more powerful. Throughout our history, donations large and small from alumni, parents, and friends have funded scholarships, strengthened our curriculum, built new programs, expanded our campus, and inspired us to raise our sights and dream big. And this is a matter of tremendous pride and worthy of public celebration. So, in that spirit, I would like to acknowledge the extraordinary contributions of each class here today. As I make these announcements, class fundraising volunteers, please stand as your class totals and awards are announced. To the class of 2007, celebrating your 10th reunion. Over the past 5 years, you have collectively raised $97,247 with an average class participation rate of 24%. And congratulations on winning your participation challenge with Mount Holyoke. To the class of 1997, in celebration of your 20th reunion, you have raised $190,373 over the past 5 years with an average participation rate of 27%. And congratulations to you as well on winning your participation challenge with Mount Holyoke and surpassing your 1 year 40% participation goal. Congratulations. Here celebrating your 30th reunion, the class of 1987. In the past 5 years, you have raised a total of $1,104,650 with an average of 32% of your class contributing. And you also won your participation challenge with Mount Holyoke. I'm just saying there might be a theme here. Not that we're competitive in any way. Not at all. The class of 1977, celebrating your 40th reunion. You have raised a 5-year gift of $4,948,552. And an average of 37% of your class contributed to this effort. And, of course, the class of 1967, here celebrating your 50th. Each year, a special award is given to the reunion class that raises the largest gift over the 5-year since its last reunion. And let me tell you, your class did it in record-setting style. Now, the class to previously hold the record for a 50th reunion class gift is 1954. 1967, your class has nearly doubled that record. Do you want to hear the number? It's pretty amazing. Your 5-year total gift is $26,343,757. And you had 54% of your class contribute to that effort. It's just incredible, and we are so, so grateful. And so, of course, while I have the class of 1967's attention, I'd like to announce that you have also won the award for the highest percentage of classmates in attendance for reunion, with 42% of your class here this weekend. And you've also won the award for the highest number of classmates in attendance for reunion, with 221 of your classmates here. So congratulations on an amazing weekend. So I'd like to ask the class presidents, Sandy Gleason and Terry Gale, to please stand so that we can recognize you and bring you all your awards. I'd also like to announce the Great Court Society Award, which goes to the class with the greatest number of new members who have included the college in their estate plans since last reunion. This award will be presented to the class of 1962 when they celebrate their 55th reunion here on campus next weekend. Also with us today are many parents of our graduating seniors. I can only imagine the pride you must be feeling, watching as your daughters transform from Smith students to Smith alumni right before your eyes. Your support began when you applauded your daughter's choice to come here. Through your gifts to the Smith Fund, you've demonstrated an unwavering commitment not only to your daughter's success, but to the cause of women's education. Parents have contributed $5,800,000 to our Women for the World campaign, and we thank you for your generosity and belief in our mission to educate women for leadership. One of the most powerful ways alumni show their pride in Smith is by giving annually and consistently to the Smith Fund. We call these devoted supporters, all of whom have given for at least 5 consecutive years, Smith Stars. Their commitment reflects their deep desire to ensure Smith's continued excellence. This type of consistent giving is critical to the college's financial health. So, would all of the Smith Stars here today, designated by a gold star on your name tag, please stand and be recognized. I'd also like to congratulate the class of 1967 for having the most Smith Stars here this weekend. 36% of your class has contributed to the Smith Fund for 5 or more consecutive years, so thank you. We are so grateful. Your support sustains us and is the foundation for our success. And finally, to the great class of 2017. This year's senior class campaign was spearheaded by Teresa Meyer. And I want to congratulate you for reaching 29% participation. We are proud of you and are uplifted by your sense of gratitude and willingness to embrace a spirit of philanthropy and support for the students who follow you. And I'd like to present an award to Cushing House for being the first house to reach 100% participation. So congratulations. With today's Ivy Day celebration, we are reminded of all that Smith has given and all that we have given Smith. In founding her namesake college, Sophia Smith wanted to educate women of promise for lives of distinction. Every gift we make, every good word we say about Smith, every connection we make to another Smith woman is evidence that we are living up to that vision. Be proud of Smith. Be proud of each other. And thank you all for the work that you do to keep Smith strong. Now, I would like to invite the senior class president, Badria Al-Sabah, to the stage to accept, on behalf of the class of 2017, 2 important gifts. So, Badria, while we are certain that your class's commitment, intelligence, leadership skills, and creativity will surely guarantee your success, we are also going to give you some seed money to make reaching that success a little easier. And so, from the Office of Alumni Relations, we are presenting a gift to you in the amount of $2,000 for your class treasury. And on behalf of the class of 1967, I'm also inviting class presidents Sandy Gleason and Terry Gale to the podium to present you with their gift. Congratulations.
On behalf of the class of 1967, it's our pleasure as the co-presidents to give to your class $2,017 as seed money, and this is for you to use for your fundraising and your 50th reunion. Congratulations.
Would Zoe Langsdale, class of 2017, please come forward to lead us in Gaudium Exigitur?
Ready for one more round? I guess. Should I just start?
Gaudeamus igitur, juvenestum sumus. Gaudeamus igitur, juvenestum sumus. Post iucundam juventutem, post vestam senectutem, nos habebitumus, nos habebitumus. Ubi sunt qui ante nos in mundo fuere, transeas ad superos, habeas ad inferos, post iucundam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebitumus, nos habebitumus. Vivat Academia, vivat professores, vivat Academia, vivat professores, vivat quembrum quod libet, vivat membra quae libet, semper sint in flore, semper sint in flore.
Good morning. I'm Donna Lisker, Dean of the College, and I too offer my congratulations to the wonderful class of 2017. Today I have the great privilege of announcing the names of seniors who distinguished themselves in particular academic pursuits and in service to the college. Although prize winners from all 4 classes are listed in your program, only graduating senior prize winners are announced today. Please refer to your program to see the names and descriptions of the particular prizes each student has won. Most of these prizes have not yet been announced, so the recipients should be surprised. Prize winners, take note. If you hear your name called at the end of the ceremony, go to the prize table at Emerson Arch under the sign that says Prizes and Awards, where you will receive a letter revealing what your prize is. I signed those letters yesterday. You're going to be very happy. This is probably hopeless, but I'm going to ask that we applaud all winners when I finish reading the names. So here are the seniors awarded the prizes, department by department. In Africana Studies, Quinn Michael Annex Reese, Kayla Ravel Fani. From the Alumni Association, Doris Lisbeth Juarez. From American Studies, Samantha Grace Page and Sarah Marie Ramasastri. From Anthropology, Lucille Marie Ausman, Gina Yunji Chu. From Art, Tessa Gavriel Gulcher, Serafina Catherine Masters, Michaela Anna Stam. From the Museum of Art, Tessa Gavriela Gulcher, Sophie Barstow Herod. From Astronomy, Molly Plow. From Athletics, Julie Marie Voorhees. Biochemistry, Natalie Sarah Kolber. Biological Sciences, Eliza Fassler, Anna Elizabeth George, Doris Lisbeth Juarez, Mallory Rose Cakeley, Veda Lecca, Ellie Mainu, Jacqueline Banuelos Murillo, Abigail Angelina Onas, Olivia Pilling, Anna Joliet Rogers, Amalia Rose Sweet, Monica Ann Marie Wilson. From Helen Hills Chapel, Nina Ray Gagnon, Shayna Alexa Iden, Samantha Grace Page. From chemistry, Quinn Michael Annex Reese, Catherine Ann Blackford, Allison Ray Hardy, Jessica Marie Morgan, Megan Elizabeth Newbig, Megan Marie Wankura, Zhang Yu. From classics, Alicia May Bowling, Isabella Varisco Levy. From comparative literature, Emily Catherine Perullo. From computer science, Marina Christie Cheng, Alice Fan Yang. From dance, Allison Georgia Marsh. From the Office of the Dean of the College, Eleanor Midori Adachi, Raven Folks Witten, Heather Grace Jaguar, Elizabeth N. Haas, Dory Sophia Klein, Brittany Deborah Joy Cott, Michelle J. Lee, Murong Lee. From East Asian Languages and Literatures, Lucy Wise Bauer, Kayla Alexandria Gaskin, Sarah Margaret Porter. From Economics, Lu Jun Jen, Yi Peng Lee, Mingwei Ma, Eva Hannibal Morgenstein, Jennifer Musa, Crystal Min Ning Ong, Emily Lundberg Utz, Shengja Shou. From Education and Child Study, Emily Nanyue Cryan, Gabriela Abigail España. From Engineering, Eleanor Midori Adachi, Christine Mary Hamilton, Sarah Katzmoli, Elsie Akinyi Odiambo, Lisette Hetsamani Ramirez. From English, Ruth Ellen Allard, Raven Folks Witten, Alexandra E. Gross, Sarah Hanstein Robbins, Emily Ellen Robideau, Mary Ruth Robinson, Alinice Marie-Michelle Samian, Emma Cairns Watson. From Environmental Science and Policy, Lily Anna Carlisle Reski, Alyssa Mae Johnson Kurtz, Misha Rittak, Sarah Rose Sorensen, Celeste Toman Vinolia. From Film and Media Studies, Erin Batchelder. From French Studies, Colin Jean Benedict, Kendall Whitney Clark, Isabel Louise Iman, Dory Sophia Klein, Zoe Mears, Katie Ann Pagliarani, Sarah Suto Pluns, Yuku Wang, Jiaying Zhu, Huai Yan, Zhang Yu, Yingxuan Zhu. From Geosciences, Elias Graylin Molitors Bergman, Emma Elizabeth Roth. From German Studies, Alexandra E. Gross, Erin Caroline Pratt, Monica Anne-Marie Wilson. From Government, Eliza Frances Cummings, Maya Nicole McCann, Julie Marie Voorhees. From History, Elizabeth N. Haas, Tanvi Kapoor, Elizabeth Nolasco, Sarah Marie Ramasastri, Jiaying Zhu. From Italian Studies, Alexandra Gabrielle Goffard, Sarah Horning-Netsky, Arimdati Saikia. From the Jandon Center for Community Engagement, Brianna Christine Halassa, Veronica Julianne Oberholzer. From Latin American and Latino Studies, Cassiopeia Rose Lee. From Mathematics, Kira Gan, Ellie Mainu, Hee Yun. From Medieval Studies, Liberty Dupuy. From Middle Eastern Studies, Abigail Reed Jefferson. From Music, Elena Marie Ayers. Jasmine Dora Karuk, Zoe Helen Langsdale, Erin Caroline Pratt, Emily Duncan Wilson. From Neuroscience, Varsha Prabhakar, Marilyn Julissa Romero. From Philosophy, Helen Celia Meyer, Catherine Quarles Stevens, Jessica Ryan, Hui Yan. From Physics, Eleanor Midori Adachi, Kira Rachel Chase, Shu Yao Gu, and Chloe T. Herrera. From Psychology, Elena Alexandra Andriopoulos, Alicia May Bowling, Murong Lee. From Religion, Alicia May Bowling, Grania Buchanan, Natalie Manning Mills. From Russian, Eastern European, and Eurasian Studies, Rebecca May Smith. From Sociology, Gabriela Abigail España. From the South Asia concentration, Mahona Chaudhary. Spanish and Portuguese, Angela Marie Acosta. Nashwa Y. Al-Sharki. Cassiopeia Rose Lee. Statistical and Data Sciences, Weijia Zhang. From Theater, Sabrina Plone Breyer, Jessie Grace Cole, Kelsey Marie Conti, Emma Frances Lobby, Siobhan Ann McManaman, Emily Duncan Wilson. And last but not least, from the Program for the Study of Women and Gender, Sam Davis.
My greetings on behalf of the faculty to the class of 2017. You found so many opportunities for growth and enrichment during your time here. Smith faculty has nurtured your intellectual growth. We've celebrated your accomplishments of your class with delight throughout your time with us, in classrooms and in laboratories, music and theater performances, art exhibits, athletics, basketball courts, and student government, community engagement, and service. You've made us proud. Given the accomplishments of this class, it's a special pleasure to introduce those members of the class of 2017 who we honor for excellence in their overall academic achievement during their careers at Smith. Since there are many, and their names are printed in the program, I will not be reading them individually. Let me ask instead that recipients of the awards and honors please stand as a group at the appropriate moment to receive the well-deserved accolades of classmates, alumni, family, and the faculty. At Smith, students are eligible for election to 8 honor societies: Delta Phi Alpha, Mu Sigma Rho, Nu Rho Psi, Psi Chi, Pi Sigma Alpha, Sigma Xi, Tau Beta Kappa, and Phi Beta Kappa. 6 members of the class of 2017 have been elected to Delta Phi Alpha for excellence in the study of German. Please rise. 7 members of the class of 2017 have been elected to Mu Sigma Rho for excellence in the field of statistics. Please stand. 8 members of the class of 2017 have been elected to Nu Rho Psi, the National Honor Society in Neuroscience. Please rise. 26 members of the class of 2017 have been elected to Psi Chi for excellence in the field of psychology. Please stand. 18 members of the class of 2017 have been elected to Pi Sigma Alpha, the National Political Science Honors Society. Please rise. 118 members of the class of 2017 have been elected to Sigma Xi on the basis of their demonstrated excellence in the field of science. Please stand. 8 members of the class of 2017 have been elected to Tau Beta Kappa for excellence in the field of engineering. Will these 8 students stand? Finally, 63 members of the class of 2017 have been elected to Phi Beta Kappa in recognition of their overall academic achievement. Please stand, and let's recognize their achievements. Thank you. Next, I'd like to recognize honors conferred by departments. Departmental honors are a long-standing tradition at Smith that permits students to work independently and in depth on a topic of particular interest to them in their major field of study. You'll see the title of these theses along with the names of their faculty advisors printed in the program. 72 members of the class of 2017 have completed this program and have been awarded one of the 3 categories of honors. May I introduce first those 5 members of the program awarded honors in their major. Please stand. Next, those 37 awarded high honors. Please rise. And lastly, those 30 awarded highest honors, may I ask you to rise and let us congratulate them. And finally, It's my pleasure to introduce those who are receiving Latin honors. For 47 years, since 1971, conferral of the baccalaureate degree with Latin honors has been based on the level of achievement over the last 3 years of the college program. 120 members of the class of 2017 have earned this designation by the high level of their performance. First, may I introduce those 82 who will receive the degree cum laude. Will all of you receiving your degree cum laude please rise? Thank you. Next, those 31 students who will receive the degree magna cum laude. Please rise. Thank you. And finally, we know how hard each of you have worked to earn your degree. So it seems only fitting to bestow a special mark on those whose work has earned the rare honor of summa cum laude, with highest praise. As I read their names, I ask that these graduates come forward to receive a special tassel and a braid to be worn throughout the commencement ceremonies. Eleanor Midori Adachi. Alicia May Bowling. Emily Nanawe Cryan. Elizabeth N. Haas. Mingwei Ma. Emily Lundberg Utz. And Julie Marie Voorhees. To all of our graduates, on behalf of the faculty, I offer our warm congratulations and best wishes for continued success. You came to Smith as women of promise with a passion to use your gifts to make a better world. You've worked very hard in your time here. Faculty are honored that you've shared your passion and commitment with us. Sophia Smith hoped the college she founded would produce graduates who would be a perennial blessing to the country and to the world. And those are our hopes for you as well. We wish you a proud and a fond farewell. We look forward to learning of your future accomplishments and to welcoming you back as alumni. Thank you.
And now I call upon the senior class president, Badria Al-Sabah, to join me for the traditional planting of the ivy. And let's welcome back Zoe Langsdale, class of 17, to come forward and lead us in the singing of Smith College Alumni Song.
Alma Mater, Smith College, source of memories long to live. Now together we acknowledge these the gifts you give. Alma Mater, many are the gifts you give. Joy of friendship, joy of learning, time to wander, search and see. Treasure hold in hearts returning through the years to be. Alma Mater, Smith College, ever close to thee.
Thank you, Zoe. As we close today's ceremony, I am struck by the power of the day, our community, our shared history. It's a history of leadership and connection, bringing to life Sophia Smith's vision of women using their education to do the most good for the greatest number. Each of you sustains that vision through your own commitment to this great college, to your communities, and to the world. Thanks, everyone, for being here. We're going to have a terrific weekend. See you soon. Okay.
Trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you.
Wow, that's a warm-up for tomorrow. It's a warm-up. Tomorrow's the big day.
What a wonderful
I tried. Nobody
I see skies of blue.
I know. Our mission's cool.
Blessed day.
So, thank you.